What's up, my friend? Thanks for coming in yesterday. Little review video based on some discussions that we had. I think it's important to point out, number one, that you do too many things well to start changing things dramatically as far as swing mechanics are involved. Told you yesterday, I always like to separate swing mechanics versus skill. I think the vast majority of your issues come from bad matchups when it comes to skill, low point management, knowing where that swing bottom is every time. So you hit some great shots yesterday, but you also hit some poor shots. It's important for you as a player or as a student to know what the differences are. Pay attention to other bits of evidence. Don't just worry about the golf ball. We have to move your swing bottom or your low point more forward the majority of the time. So every 4 balls that you hit, 2 of them were 3 or 4 inches. Your swing bottom was 2 or 3, 4 inches back behind the ball. There's reasons that this happens, but let's say we don't fix anything mechanically. 25% of the time, your golf swing the way it is good enough to play really good golf as long as you chip and putt okay. And I think that's important to remember. Now, do we have to make some swing mechanic changes? Absolutely. This type of stuff will not be fixed overnight. It won't be fixed in a month. I tell all my students I want to see big improvements a year from now. And that comes with some accountability, certainly. So let's take a look at this. Couple things. Let's get you back to the beginning. Let's go ahead and get you to the top. Couple things that I notice here. Look at hand separation as far as where your hands are relative to your head compared to this model at the bottom. We can see that he has a shorter golf swing. It's not because of the left arm necessarily. Your left arm is basically in the same position, but you start to collapse your elbows. Your elbows separate. That puts your hand position much closer to your head. Okay, we can see this guy, left arm looks about the same, but he doesn't collapse his elbows. Okay, so number one, this is one way that we can shorten your golf swing just by putting things in between your elbows. Make sure you don't collapse. That's certainly going to help that sequencing back to the golf ball. It's going to give you more time. Let's go ahead and get you into impact. There's impact for you. There's impact for the model. Okay, let's look at some differences. Look at your hand position relative to your 2 thighs. We want hand position at impact to be over the lead thigh. Yours is towards your trail thigh. The model at the bottom, you can see his hand position is over his lead thigh. Now, if we take this back just a little, let's go right there. Let's go right there. Okay. By the time your hands reach your trail thigh, which we can see here, our hand position in both you and the model is over the trail thigh. Look at all the lag that you've lost. There's where your club head is. There's where his club head is. So we talked about you have lengthened the radius of the golf club. You've lengthened where that swing bottom is going to take place. When you do that, 2 things occur. The propensity of you hitting behind the ball is greatened, and you also probably, in order to avoid hitting the ground, you have to collapse or separate your elbows into impact. Let's look. There they go. Look how far your elbows are away from one another compared to the model. There we go. Huge separation. Look at this big gap big gap, small gap, okay? It's all related. It's a byproduct of things that happen early. Those are the things that I want to really start working on moving forward as far as mechanical issues with you. We want this to look vastly different, okay? Needs to happen over time. Priority number one, non-negotiable number one is find the front side of the golf ball. No more fat shots. From there, we'll find the center of the club face. And then from there, we're going to really tackle these mechanics. So hope this makes sense. Time to go to work. Let me know if you have any questions.